Okay, so this is the finished product of my charm Halloween bracelet tutorial. And this is once I've attached it with lobster claws to the charm. So starting here, I have my two pumpkins that I made. This one I didn't show you guys, but this one I did. So this is a girl, this is a boy, and they're in pairs. Next up, I have the witch's hat, which I showed in the tutorial. Then I have this girl ghost and this boy ghost, and they are also in a pair. Then I have the two tombstones. So I have this one with a face and dimples, and this one without a face, and they are also in pairs. And then I have this Rollicoma donut and this other Rollicoma donut, and these two are also in pairs. Take a piece of your Fimo glow-in-the-dark clay and roll it into a... Once you've rolled it into a ball, start by forming it into a cone shape by taking one end of your finger, pressing it at the bottom, and just rolling it out. Once you have something like this, press down on the bowl. Start shaping the tail into more of a ghost form by curving it upwards. As you've seen here, I curled it 2 times at the end so it looks more ghostly. Now start to shape the head. This is my final product of the ghost's body. Take another bowl of clay and peel a little bit of that off. Roll it into a evened out snake. Cut evenly in half. Roll both of the even snakes into balls. These will be the hands of the... Once you have 2 even bowls, it's now time to place it. Take your body and take one hand and place it on top of the body, as so at the side. Then take another ball and place it on the inside of the ghost's body, as so. You should have something that looks like this. Once the end of your toothpick is dipped in black acrylic paint, make 2 circles on the ghost's body. Make them even. Now you're going to create a smile on your ghost. Or you could create a circle shape for a boo. I'm creating a circle shape. This is how the ghost should look like so far. If you want to make a girl ghost, then it should look something like this. Just make the end of the eyes longer and stretched out. Take a different toothpick and take the end of it and dip it into Craft Smart white paint. Then create 2 little eyes for your ghost. You should have something like this. Take a piece of your Fimo orange clay. Once you've rolled it into a ball, take your thumb and gently press down on it. It should create somewhat this shape. Take 2 really small pieces of green and brown. Form the brown into a fat branch or just a fat snake, and the green into a triangle. Take your green triangle and take your X-Acto knife and make some leaf lines. Take your fat branch and just gently stick it on to the middle of the pumpkin, and you want to make it like curved as so. Take your leaf and stick it next to the branch as so. You might want to redo your lines of the pumpkin with an X-Acto knife. As you've seen here, I've shaped my pumpkin eyes into 2 evil ones. So by doing this, you just take your toothpick, you dab 2 circles, and then you take the end and then you start just painting the end like this, and then you just shape it, and then you just drag the paint down as so, and then you should get 2 eyes like so. Dip your tip of the toothpick and create a smile on your pumpkin as so. As you've seen here, to make the pumpkin look cuter, I added like 2 orange dimples at the sides. This should be the finished product of your pumpkin. So yeah. Take a piece of your tan polymer clay. Then break it into another smaller piece. So you should have 2 pieces. Roll the big piece into a ball. Now, once you have a ball, flatten it out with your thumb. The ball, now take the end of your paintbrush and stick a hole in and start making a hole. It should look like a donut by now. Now, we're going to make a Rilakkuma donut, so shape it into sort of like a rectangle shape and round off the edges. It should look something like this. Now, take the smaller piece of the tan clay and roll it into 2 equal. Once you have 2 equal balls, stick them at the top of the Rilakkuma donut to make it look like the ears. Once that's done, it should look something like this. Now, flip it to the back and take the back of your toothpick and create the hole at the back. Now we should have something that looks like this. Take your window paint or any other color, TLS or anything, and gently squirt it onto the Rilakkuma donut. It should look something like this when you're done. Dip the end of your toothpick in black acrylic paint. So now, start painting the Rilakkuma ears black. You can even make designs on your Rilakkuma donut with the black toothpick as so. This part is optional, but I am going to add some micro marbles to the Rilakkuma donut to make it look like sugar. Take a piece of purple polymer clay. Once it's in a ball, form it into a cone shape. It should look something like this. Remember to make the top really pointy. Stick it to the bottom and slowly push all the clay down and flatten the bottom out. You're going for a witch's hat shape. Keep on doing this until it looks like this. So you should have something that looks like this. Once you've done that, or you try to do it, you're going to take a side and you're going to hold it like this and you're going to flatten it out like this. You're going to do this to all 4 sides and even do it to the corners. So you're just going to keep on flattening it out like this. And now you're going to curl the end of the witch's hat. So once you're happy with it, it should look something like this for a witch's hat. This part is optional, but I'm taking rubbing alcohol, and the reason I'm doing this is because I can smooth out any fingerprints or any dust that I don't want. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. So as you see here, it removed some of the clay with it, but that is alright. So as you see here, it did remove a lot of the fingerprints and dust of the witch's hat. So now you're going to curl the sides of the hat. Look more realistic. Once you're happy with your hat, take some green clay and roll that into a snake. Once you have that, you're going to take your paintbrush and you're going to roll it and you're going to flatten it out. Now cut another little piece from the excess clay and you're going to cut a little square. So where you cut off your clay, like this part where it ended, you're going to stick the square onto that part. So I'm going to do that. So you should have something that looks like this. Now you're going to take just a little tiny bit of purple clay and you're going to make that into a smaller square. Once you have that, you're going to stick it onto the green square. So you should have something like this. And this is the finished product of the witch's hat. Take a piece of your Fimo granite clay and roll that into a ball. Once it's in a ball shape, gently flatten it out. Make it into a rectangle shape by pressing at the sides. Now flatten it out like so and round off the edges. So you should have something like this now, and it should be like something like a graveyard, like a tombstone shape. Take your black acrylic paint and your paintbrush and dip it in. Now write the words RIP on top. I'm just thirsty. So yeah, this is the finished product of the witch's hat, the RIP tombstone, and yes, I did add huge dimples to some of the characters. Whoops. Rolakuma Halloween Donut. That's still drying. Glow in the dark ghost. Ah, oh my god, no. Oh yeah, hoof. Okay, I added dimples and pumpkin. And yes, I did add 2 dimples. And yeah, so now it's time to attach the eye pins and bake. If your eye pin is too long, take your tweezers and simply cut. Once you have finished putting the eye pins, it's time to bake. Baking time! Just waiting for it to bake. So once it's done baking, you may find that if you used window paint, then it will be really sticky, but that's okay because you can fix that with glaze. So now we're going to glaze our... This is optional, but I use Sculpey gloss glaze. This part is optional, but I'm taking my crazy glue and putting it on the eye pin and sticking it in to make it really, really strong and so it won't fall off. So this is the finished product of the pumpkin once it's glazed and everything. And now I'm going to take my crazy glue again and I am going to glue the eye pin to the ghost. And now I'm glazing the tombstone. And now I'm going to crazy glue the eye pin to the tombstone. And now I'm glazing the Rolakuma Halloween donut. Take your pumpkin or your charm, your jump rings, and your tweezers, and you are just going to attach it onto the eye pin. So you're going to do this for all of your charms, and you can attach lobster claws if you want.